Germany has been left horrified after vandals destroyed a living nativity, tortured 2 donkeys before defecating in the church and fleeing the small town of Erbach, south of Frankfurt. Donkeys Lily and Max, part of the popular living nativity at the Christmas market, were beaten and tortured in their enclosure at around 4 a.m. on the 30th of November. One resident watching the chaos from his balcony told German News they witnessed one of the culprits punch the donkey in the face. He said the same group had destroyed electrical boxes, Christmas lights and decorations around the town, robbing stalls at the Christmas market and defacing toilets. They then reportedly entered the Protestant church in the centre of town, damaged candlesticks and pews, then left feces behind. Lily and Max's owners have returned the donkeys to their farm to recover from the attack. Police are seeking witnesses as part of their investigation. The attack comes after Germans were warned to be vigilant at Christmas events this year, as authorities raised the terror threat. Last year, an attack on Magdeburg Christmas market killed 5 people and left 323 others injured. Cities across Germany have erected barriers around their markets to protect shoppers, though others have decided not to even bother this year. German councils say security costs have risen 44% in just 3 years. Multiple reports of vandalism have accompanied this year's advent across Western Europe. A video has gone viral in Germany which appears to show a young man pulling down a Christmas tree. Residents of Flekkefjord in Norway woke up to their Christmas tree having been cut down, the latest in a series of vandalisms which goes back several years. In Britain, armed police have been filmed patrolling several Christmas markets, like here in York. Barriers have been erected at others, as in Bath and Birmingham. Last week, a war memorial was vandalised and Christmas lights pulled down at St Andrew's Church in Hove. Sussex police are looking for a white man in his 60s in connection with the incident. Bradford-on-Avon has warned residents it could scrap its Christmas displays altogether after vandals cut lights down just 4 days after they were put up, saying this was the second year something similar had happened. Last Christmas, damage amounted to more than £1,000.
Your personal data could be exposed right now without you even knowing it. And if you want it removed, use incogni.com/GB News in the description now and get 60% off an annual plan on us. Incogni reach out to the data brokers on your behalf and request that your information be deleted from their databases. And they'll keep sending removal requests to make sure your data stays gone. Sometimes your information ends up on strange, obscure websites that automated tools just can't reach. And that's why Incogni just launched their unlimited plan with a feature called Custom Removals. With this, you can submit any link where your personal information appears, literally paste in the URL, and their privacy team will investigate and work to get it removed. And getting started is super easy. Hit the link in the description, create an Incogni account, and tell them whose data you want removed. Grant them permission to work on your behalf, and then all you've got to do is sit back and relax. They'll keep you updated along the way. Incogni is totally risk-free for 30 days. If you try it, it's not for you, you'll get a full refund. So take back control of your personal data today with Incogni. Use our code GBNews at checkout via the link in the description, and you'll get 60% off an annual plan.
It's terrifying, isn't it? Because this is a time of year we're really meant to be celebrating, going out with our friends and family, going to these lovely markets. But it seems time and time again, people are feeling less safe at them, let alone the culture wars on them and all of that stuff. But is it the case now that we're having to put extra security at these markets for fear of attacks, Kevin?
Well, it's disturbing, but I think it's right that extra security is being put in place in areas where there are large crowds, because we know from numerous amount of attacks, not only in the UK, but around the world, essentially Islamist extremists have carried out terrorist attacks on large groups of people. You mentioned one there with smaller numbers, but there have been similar ones at a large firework display in Marseille, 80-odd people killed when the lorry drove through the crowd.
Yeah.
Many different similar attacks in Germany. So it's quite right that attempts are made, sadly, to minimise the way in which vehicles, such as cars or lorries, can be used as a weapon to murder people. The fact of the matter is, there are thousands of people in the UK who are a concern to the security services, namely MI5 and the counter-terrorism units up and down the country, and we still fail to correctly assess the threat from some influential groups such as the Muslim Brotherhood, which exists and practices quite openly in the UK, where it is banned in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Kuwait, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Syria, Jordan, Kuwait. There's a bit of a clue there. They are all Muslim countries, and they regard the Muslim Brotherhood as a serious threat to the way of life in those countries. And yet we in the UK deliberately ignore that threat that exists, and we need to acknowledge that there are some extremists off the edge of Islam who carry out these dreadful attacks. And indeed, until quite recently, the Muslim Brotherhood members were actively engaged as representatives of the Muslim community being spoken to by government. So when we're ignoring issues like that other Muslim countries face up to, we shouldn't be surprised that we need, that I say we need, for the security forces such as the police and MI5 take measures as best they can to protect us as we go about our business at things like Christmas shopping or these Christmas markets and so on. It's dreadful, but that's what we've come to in this country.
Yes. It's certainly very sad, Kevin. It really is. I think back to my childhood, Christmas markets used to be such a wonderful thing to go to, and I worry now for parents up and down the country looking over their shoulder, people looking over their shoulder. Listen, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Kevin Hurley there, former lead on counter-terrorism at the City of London Police. I know many of you are writing in here as well saying that we shouldn't have to live this way, and we shouldn't, should we? Kevin's made some really good points. Why don't we prescribe groups like that as terrorist organisations and be done with them? But also, you know, I don't believe that in our societies we really should have to be dressing up concrete barriers with wrapping paper to disguise and keep us safe. But there we go. That's the world we live in now, isn't it? Anyway.